Because even though this might blow your mind, you might not even believe me. But even though it didn't happen on the 23rd, I think, I think that was still significant, so significant. I'm trying to figure out how to word it, but like in 2017, on September 23rd, exactly 8 years ago to the day from the day this year that everyone thought the rapture was going to happen, or, a lot of people, the highest watch day ever of all time. Like, it was so trending so much. People were talking about the rapture so much that day that it was literally talked about more than Taylor Swift that day. Like, that was in the news that, there were like articles about it. The rapture being talked more about Taylor Swift that day. Yeah, so that was the biggest watch day ever. But I was going to say that September 23rd, 2017 was when the Revelation 12 sign happened in the sun, moon, and stars. And 8 years later was the day that everyone, so many people, so much of the world, more than ever before, has ever looked for the rapture. We're looking for it on that date, thinking it very well could happen. And so those were two signs. And from the video I just saw and shared the other day, I'm not sure, maybe I'm misunderstanding what he was saying, but I think he was saying that those were like two moons. Maybe I didn't, maybe I missed something and I need to, because I don't think I finished watching it yet, but he was saying something about two moons and about those two dates connecting, being two signs that go together. And if those, I don't know if that makes sense, but if those are somehow two moons, well, that explains why we've all been having so many two moon rapture dreams. Maybe the two moons weren't two literal moons, but the two moons were those two dates. And it's also a big deal because, I that's too much to get into to explain here. But exactly 1 month before September 23rd of this year, God showed me some amazing things in the clouds, and it like verified, like it was confirmation about like, yes, it's very soon. There was a heart in the clouds where several months, like back in February, several months ago, God, when I was looking for the rapture in the sky, thinking it might happen in that moment, God didn't give me a heart, but the shape, the whole of a heart in the clouds. And exactly a month before September 23rd, he gave me the heart that would go inside the hole, almost as if to say the rapture wasn't then, but it's nearly time now. That's really what I believe God was telling me through that. And there was even the most beautiful cloud that was undeniably a woman kneeling down. And I'll be honest, whenever people, a lot of times when people share their cloud pictures with me, when I see people take pictures of the clouds saying like, look, I can see Jesus' face in it, or, whatever they see, a lot of the times I'm looking at it and I'm just like, that just looks like a cloud. I can't tell. And I'm not saying I doubt them. I'm just saying, I'm like, that's really hard to see. I can't tell. Like, I'm looking at it every which way, and wow, the sky is so beautiful. There's so much, I don't know, bumpy clouds. It looks cool. But, I just say that to say that, like, when I look at these clouds that he showed me a month before September 23rd, I don't know how anyone could look at that and not see that. See, it's so clearly a woman. Like, if I didn't see it with my own eyes and take the picture myself, like, I would think, if some random person was saying that God showed them these in the clouds, I would be cautious. I would be like, is this AI? Because that looks too much like a woman in the clouds. Like, how is that even possible? And I also saw what I believe looked like an arm reaching out, maybe to grab us, take us up, caught up. And I also saw what I believe is wheat. There were, as at least one of them was definitely wheat. I think there was maybe even a couple more right next to it of wheat. But yeah, So just to say that, go back to like, you should always be loving even if you think someone's wrong. It doesn't mean you have to agree with them. But don't make fun of them either. Don't mock them. I don't get how people have the kind of time to just go on random strangers' Facebook profiles and like all day they're just going to their videos and being like, "Ha, you're foolish. You're ridiculous for believing in the rapture." It's like, don't you have anything better to do? What are you accomplishing with this? Are you trying to convert me to your beliefs, your specific, non-rapture beliefs, or, a different date for the rapture, like a different timing of post or mid, or like, it's important to say that, like, I recently realized this, and it's so crazy. It is inconsistent to say we can't have any idea of when the rapture is, and then also tell me that it's not yet. You're not even consistent with your own thoughts, your own statements, your own beliefs. You can't say you can't know and then tell me you know when it's not. You're inconsistent. You don't make sense. Like, it just blows my mind that Christians, like, I could care less if atheists are mad at me. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. What does bother me when Christians do it. Whoever of these people are genuinely saved, I don't know. Some of them, I think they're just misunderstood, and it's okay if we have different opinions. It's fine. But we just need to calm down about it and stop trying to pressure each other on what to believe. Like, this is my own videos, my own page. Like, I can make what I want. Freedom of speech. This is what I truly, genuinely believe. I don't think God would be telling me all this stuff about the rapture being imminent if it wasn't imminent. And I keep hearing, I have heard different times people say, like, "Oh, are you sure that's even from God?" And I'm like, pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he keeps confirming things in so many ways that should be impossible. I mean, just look at those clouds, and those pictures, the ones that I took a month before September 23rd, and I think it's really interesting because, again, going back to the video I shared the other day, like, the guy was talking about giving birth, and again, like, so much of this end times, this rapture stuff, is God says to compare to the birth pangs to a woman in labor. And that guy was talking about how, like, something about, like, 14 days, there's like a period of 14 days after, before a woman gives birth, of something like that. I don't know much about giving birth and all that, and I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but just to say, I think there's at least a possibility. Again, I'm not setting dates. I'm just saying what might happen. That's okay to do. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people, they're just sticking to what they think. They're leaning on their own understanding, which God says don't do that, right? But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I think there's at least a possibility that the rapture happens 14 days after the 23rd, because again, September 23rd, exactly 8 years later from 2017, we had, those two signs that connect the date of the Revelation 12 prophecy being fulfilled in the stars, and the date that it was the highest rapture watch date that the world has ever seen. That's significant. That's really significant. So there's a chance that 14 days after the 23rd is maybe when the rapture is, which is tomorrow. I mean, it's almost tomorrow, but yeah, October 7th, which, yeah, that's 14 days later. That's exactly 2 weeks later. So that's, 7 days is a week. That's 2 sevens, double sevens. Seven is God's number. He does, like, everything in sevens. People say, "Oh, the tribulation isn't even God's wrath." It's like, it's 7. I mean, that's it's kind of God's whole thing, right? And if you know your Bible, you'll know that, like, when hasn't it been God's wrath? The flood was God's wrath. Sodom and Gomorrah was God's wrath.